Hello YouTube, welcome back to another video for Alex's Flying Club. I am Alex and I am back in the DC-3 and we are going to do the third flight for the DC-3 Airways World Rally 2013. And today we're going to be flying from Nice, France to Corsica. The airports are Nice Côte d'Azur, airport ID number LFMN, and the destination is going to be Court, airport ID LFKT. So here we're just going to start up the engines of our DC-3. This is the Norman Hancock modification, so the default Flight Simulator 2004 DC-3. And throughout this trip, it was not the best trip for me in terms of efficiency. I made a wrong turn, which I will talk about a little later, and had to kind of track my steps back. This is not a GPS flight. I'm only using VOR bearings and a map to get to the destination, so I got kind of lucky because the VOR had a DME that I was using, so I could tell distances, which made things easier when I tracked back. So my first two flights went okay in terms of results. And on the World Rally website, you can go and compare your flight times and fuel consumption per flight to other members that are doing the rally, and there are about 115, 120 of them. So on the first flight, I was definitely below average. I was actually probably the worst one in terms of flight time. I had to circle back and make several approaches on the runway. So the second flight was markedly better. I was still below average, but I was kind of closer to the mean, I guess. And I think this flight will be somewhere in between in terms of results. But the scores will come out, or the results, I guess, will come out in a couple of days. So here, before I take off, as usual, I'm going to set my autopilot heading, which I will engage once I'm about 1,000 feet above ground level. I'm going to go to our first altitude target, and the navigation radios are already set to the first VOR that we're going to be using for navigation. So this is a nice flight. We'll be flying over water for most of it, or I was at least. I won't show the entire cruise section of the flight. And we'll leave mainland France and make our approach into Corsica, little island off of France where Napoleon was born.
November, Charlie 2013 at runway 4 left, ready for takeoff. Departure to the east. Douglas, November, Charlie 2013, cleared for takeoff. Runway 4 left, east departure approved. Cleared for takeoff. Runway 4 left. Douglas, November, Charlie 2013.
And here we're taking off. We've got a nice view of Nice. And eventually I'm going to make my turn and head toward Corsica. I'll stop the narration for now and catch up with you when I make my navigational error.
013. You are leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved. Departure, Douglas, November, Charlie 2013. Sky Douglas, 4 miles northeast of Nice, 1,500. Request clearance, transition Bravo, airspace. Douglas, November, Charlie 2013. East, departure, squawk 3722. Squawk 3722, Douglas 013. Douglas 013, radar contact 5 miles northeast of East, 1,700. Cleared to the Bravo, airspace. Cleared to the Bravo, airspace. Douglas 013. Airway 497, climb and maintain flight level 290. Climb and maintain flight level 290, airway 497. Contact Marseille Center on 120.85. 120.85 for Baron 080. Marseille Center, Baron November 58080, with you 10,000. Baron November 58080, Marseille Center, roger. Current altimeter 2982. Marseille Center, Learjet November 67792, with you, flight level 290. Learjet November 67792, Marseille Center, roger.
So here's where I'm about to make my navigational error. I was waiting for the OBS to line up, and now I am making my turn to southwest. And my error was I made this turn too early, and we should have been turning southeast. And what happened was I print out maps for these DC-3 rally flights, and I have a general map of the entire route, and then a more detailed map of the approach to the landing airfield. And I switched to my detailed map too early, and I missed the waypoint. So now I'm turning southwest a waypoint earlier than I should have. And I'll have to backtrack, and I'll show how I do that, and we'll also have a little map as well so you can visualize my route. Okay, so this is me backtracking now. I had to go northeast for a little while to get back to the VOR reading and make up the waypoint that I missed. And once I was lined up, I turned northwest. This is the second mistake that I made. I had to follow the VOR bearing, and it was the signal was heading to me from 330, and I turned there, but I'm supposed to go toward the signal, so I have to go 180 degrees the other way to go toward the signal. So I had to make a course of 150, but I made the mistake of going away from the signal on a course of 330. I will correct this fairly shortly and get back on track as well. Still getting used to using the VOR navigation instruments for plotting my flight plans and such. So now we're heading back to Corsica on more or less the correct path.
Giant 4525, you're leaving my airspace for Zoom World navigation. Contact velocity on approach on 123.825. 123.825. Giant 4525. Marseille Center, Giant 4525, wind 13,500. Giant 4525, Marseille Center, roger, altimeter 2982.
So what I'll show in a few seconds here is going to be a after the fact screenshot of my flight, and it'll show the flight plan in sky blue, which most of it won't be seen because in bright red will be the path that my plane actually took, and it covers most of the sky blue because I was following along the flight plan. But there is an area where the two diverge, and you'll see that in just a second. So here it is on the map. The sky blue again is that line is the intended flight plan, and the red is the path that my plane actually took. And you see I veered off to the southeast, then had to go back to the northeast to get back on track using the VORs. So here I am coming up on Corsica. For the rest of this flight, we're going to be flying at low altitude as we make our approach. And I did manage to land on the first try, which is an achievement for me because I didn't do that in the previous two videos, the previous two flights. So I'll stop the narration for now, just let you enjoy the rest of the video and the landing. And I hope to see you guys again when I make my video for the fourth flight of the DC-3 Airways World Rally 2013. See you guys next time.
Approach American